because my mom is the whole city of Cumberland on lockdown?
Well, we're under the governor's executive order to stay at home, which what that really means is you stay at home unless you absolutely have to go out somewhere for necessary trips to the grocery store, the pharmacy, to take care of a relative or a pet, things like that, things that are that you really have to do. Everyone is advised to stay at home and not go out unless necessary. And then when you are out, comply with the social distancing requirements, staying 6 feet away from everybody, cover your coughs or your sneezes and things like that. But so it's if you're around town, you won't see a whole lot of people going around, but there's still people in the stores and buying the things they need.
Yeah. Realistically, how long do you think we're going to be like this? Because at what point do we stop? Because if it's less than like 100 cases, do we go back when there's less than 100, or do we go back when there's no cases at all?
I think if you kind of watch how it's been trending in different locations, it will give you an idea of how long the cycle is in each place. Like in New York, from the governor announced today that number of deaths have already started to decline over the last few days. So that'll give you an indication how long it could be. It's tough to predict because I think the country will go through different phases as we do it. So we're just at the beginning of ours. Hopefully, with some of the things that were done prior to our first cases here in Allegheny County, that'll help us to have a smaller trend maybe than what's happening in the major metropolitan areas. I'm hopeful for that. Obviously the stay-at-home order, I think, is going to go through April. I mean, that's pretty obvious. We'll go through April. On a federal level, they're actually predicting this peaking sometime between May 1 and May 15, which is a little. When I heard that, I was on some conference calls this week with the U.S. Senators Van Hollen and Cardin, and also with Congressman Trone, and that's what they were saying. The federal people were telling them that peaking between May 1 and May 15. So that honestly was a little alarming to me. But I'm thinking, around here, maybe by the middle of May or so, if everybody really does what we should be doing, I'm thinking by the middle of May things will settle down here. At least that's where I'm hopeful.
Are you worried of it picking right back up in the fall? Because I've read somewhere of that happening, but I didn't know if that was for sure.
Yeah. There's obviously there's some concern if we stop the requirements too quickly, that it could come back again in the fall. It would, I think the key to it is the prevention side, trying to figure out a vaccine for it, and also the treatment. I think, there's, our medical people are doing a really great job of trying to figure this out. I believe they'll have treatments and they'll have vaccines by the fall that if it were to come back, they'd have a better way of handling it for the people that are infected with the virus.
Yeah, that's all right. Do you see the kids going back at all? I'm guessing now. I'm obviously guessing now. To school?
I think I don't think you'll see anybody going back to school until the fall. I'm hopeful that by September 1st, all the schools would open back up. I know Frostburg is doing their summer session online, doing everything online, and finishing up obviously the spring semester online. So, and for the classes that you can do that with, that's great. I think Frostburg said about 98% of their classes they can do online. Some of the ones like the drama, theater, music courses and things like that, obviously that if the people can't be in a room together, it makes it rather hard to have a class. But I'm hoping by September 1 everybody's back to school.
Right. Yeah, this is This is crazy. I've never seen anything like this.
And quite frankly, you're in the same boat as everybody else. There's nobody else. Well, I'll say this: there's very few people alive today who have seen anything like this. I mean, there hasn't been anything this big a health crisis since the Spanish flu in 1918. So
Yeah,
Right.
So you've got to be over 100 years old really to have experienced that. So this is sort of new to everybody, and I think that's one of the things it was part of the issue, is because everybody's heard, oh, you got to watch this, you got to watch that, other health issues in the past, but it was nothing like this. So they were always going, oh, they're just trying to scare us. And I think it's obvious at this point that that's not what people were trying to do. They're trying to be honest about what could potentially happen.